welcome to the After Hours Experience Extra. I am TC Restani, and I am in my little studio here with none other than the greatest celebrity stalker of all time, the one and the only South Boston Jeff. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, people? Quite an eventful year it has been.
Unbelievable. We're in the fall season now here for autograph collecting. Now, I've accompanied you on a couple of trips down to New York City, and we're going to talk about some of the interesting people that you have met, South Boston Jeff. We're going to start off with one of your favorite actors of all time from your favorite movie of all time.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. Yeah, that's right. I got to meet Brad Dourif. Now, let me tell you, I'm working on a spectacular collection of 8x10 photos of, I pretty much got every living actor from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and that's including Jack Nicholson. So it was an honor to meet Brad Dourif. And
for those of you who don't know who Brad Dourif is, Brad Dourif played Billy Bibbit in the Academy Award-winning 1975 film One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and he is also the voice of Chucky.
Wanna play? Well, yep, Chucky the doll, but yep, it was great to meet him. His daughter was with him. And
Fiona is her name.
Fiona Dourif, that's correct.
Now, what was it like actually finally meeting Billy Bibbit face-to-face? I know you had a brief encounter with him about 13, 14 years ago, but it was unmemorable. This time, you were actually having him sign the autograph with dialogue from Cuckoo's Nest.
Right, yeah, he wrote, "It's nice to meet you." And, you get kind of a nervous vibe because he's one of the most nervous people I ever met. And, nervous enough to make me nervous, and I started going, no! And, he got pretty uncomfortable.
Nervous enough to actually get himself locked out of the convention.
Right. Yeah, he was, he went to take a whiz for himself, and he locked himself out of the building, and he was all, he didn't know what to do, and we had to knock on the door and get him back into the building. But we know that building inside out. He didn't even have to leave. He just had to take a left, and the restroom was right there. But, yeah, Brad Dourif, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Great to meet, but one of the most nervous guys I've ever met.
He kind of reminded me of a little like a Crispin Glover type of actor.
Oh, yeah, sure. Very unpredictable.
Now, of course, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is South Boston Jeff's favorite movie of all time. Now, we know we can't meet all of the cast members because some of them have gone to that great big mental institution in the sky. But who of the cast that you did not meet would you have liked to have met?
Okay, I would have definitely have loved to meet the chief himself, Will Sampson. And it's impossible to get his autograph now, but no, it's not impossible to get his autograph. But he was a true-blooded Indian from the mountains of Canada and a ranger, and he used to paint pictures, and you could get a hold of one of his pictures. I'd love to meet him. That would have been great. It would have been also nice to meet Mr. Sidney Lassick, who played Cheswick, and I heard a story about him. Yeah, he was walking around in that movie. He thought he ran the whole show. He was trying to show Jack a few things, He thought he ran the whole show with his thespian acting and his yoga.
And his big career ended up with Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yes. So on the set of that movie, Nicholson got sick of his shit and then started spraying him with the hose, and that's what. And they left that in the movie. That wasn't in the script when he sprayed Cheswick in the face with the hose, but they left it. He was getting even with him. I got that story from a cast member, Mr. Michael Berryman, who played the Bald Chronic.
And he was also the guy in Weird Science who said, "Can we not talk about this? I'd like to keep my teaching job."
Oh, yeah. I'd like to meet. Oh, speaking of Weird Science, we got the star of Weird Science, the wonderfully gorgeous Miss Kelly LeBrock.
Kelly LeBrock, yes. Kelly LeBrock, of course, played Lisa in the 1985 John Hughes classic Weird Science. For those of you who haven't seen Weird Science, and I'm sure there's maybe two people on the planet that haven't seen it, these two dorks try to build a girl out of a computer, and it works, and it's Kelly LeBrock. And 30 years later, she's still unbelievably gorgeous.
Yep. I almost lost it. I don't know. I was a gentleman. I think I kissed her hand like a gentleman, but very gorgeous and tough to contain yourself around her. Well, me, but
she now actually follows me on Twitter, which I think is quite an honor to have Kelly LeBrock follow me. And if you want to follow me out there, if you're listening to this, you can follow it at TC Restani on Twitter. Unbelievable. Kelly LeBrock, now, which still did you have her sign?
As soon as they got finished making her, and poof, there she was walking through the door. That's the shot that I had her sign, and that's what she signed. She said, "Well, what would a little maniac like like to do first, or something to that matter. Yeah. What would you little maniacs like to do first?
Unbelievable. Also, you've met Sid Haig once again.
Oh, he's just a all-around fun guy to meet around the Halloween season. You know, me and Don, he's if you go to these Rocket Shock shows, he's the guy you can just hang out with him and chill with him, and he'll take pictures for free.
And the picture you've seen on the screen right now, you're all giving the bird.
Oh, yeah, he's the hell with Hollywood, fuck you. But yeah, very cool to meet Sid Haig once again. Captain Spaulding, I would vote for him anytime during the year.
Unbelievable. And, of course, you met your other favorite movie of all time, other than One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, would have to be the 1979 classic, The Warriors.
Okay, let me tell you about this now. All right, the guy who played Ajax, what is his name?
James Remire.
Yeah, James Remire. He was at the Chiller Theater, and he was charging people, a good amount of money, at least $40, $50. And, all right, that's good. You get to pick out your own still and everything. And, I didn't pay for meeting him at all. I just grabbed him and had a word with him
He was sucking down a sandwich in the hallway. I was there, and you walked up and just started rapping to him about the video game about the Warriors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, at least I didn't have to wait in that line and pay $40, so we started, he was a cool guy. James Remire, hey, hell, cool guy.
He was also the scumbag who played Albert Gans in 48 Hours.
Oh, yeah. He had a lot of those good scumbag roles in the 80s.
But on the picture on the screen right now, we see you and David Patrick Kelly, none other the guy who played Luthor, the guy who was in the Warriors. Warriors, come out and play.
Yeah, I was getting to that. I was, after me and the boys were finished having our supper. We just seen him walking through the hotel. We kind of had to chase after him, but once we stopped him, once he was in the street, he stopped and talked to us for at least 2 minutes. He was like, "Wow, you guys recognize me from the Warriors? Cool."
He was also the scumbag. He also played the same character's name was Luther in 48 Hours, alongside James Remire.
That's true. So we met two Warriors in at that trip in New York. So later on that day, we got to meet Blythe Danner, who's Gwyneth Paltrow's mom.
And
she was kind of nice.
Blythe Danner also played Robert De Niro's wife in those movies with Ben Stiller there.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw Brian Dennehy, but he didn't.
Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, Meet whatever. That's the name of the movie. I just got through the earpiece here. Thank you, Sabrina, out there in the control room. Meet the Fockers, Meet the Parents. She played De Niro's wife in those movies.
That's right. But I recognize her from those movies, but her mom, she's Gwyneth Paltrow's mom. So she was a nice one to meet. She was in a play with Brian Dennehy. He was a little standoffish, So we he got out of his limo, headed in there, and got out of his limo, headed and we asked him for an autograph, and he just said, "Yeah, here's a good one, guys. Why don't you come and see the effing play?" All right, that's the clean version of what he said.
Actually, I met Brian Denny quite a few times. He's a very nice guy, but I think he was just pulling your leg because, these people live on people buying their tickets, and a lot of the times when we go down to New York City, there's a lot of scumbags down there just getting autographs. We actually get autographs because we collect them. We don't sell them. Unlike these dirtbags.
That's true. He didn't even have to stop at all. Yeah, he didn't have to sign any autographs, but he did. But yeah, he was just a little standoffish. But an honor to meet him.
And he looks exactly the same as he did in First Blood.
Oh yeah, he
that
gave me that
30
look.
Years ago.
Yeah, you want to be polite to him because he got out of the limo, gave me that look that he gave Rambo. I wasn't about to screw around with Brian Dennehy being a Marine and everything. But I want to get back to David Patrick Kelly. David Patrick Kelly was not only in The Warriors, but he played a weaselly little scumbag in a lot of movies.
Like Commando.
Yeah, like Commando. He's the guy that Schwarzenegger dropped off the cliff.
He goes, yeah, he was Sully in that. And he goes, "Remember I promised to kill you last?" "That's right, Matrix, you did." "I lied." Ooh,
which is pretty much the same scream he let out during The Warriors. And let me tell you, He also played a little weasel in the movie with Fort Fairlane, Dice Clay. And
speaking of Dice Clay, today, of all days, we do this little podcast, you actually met Andrew Dice Clay. You spent the weekend with him, kind of.
Pretty much. I mean, I went and seen him at the Wilbur Theater last night. He did an amazingly funny show. Me and Signature Boy Donnie, we were at the Wilbur Theater. It was an amazing show. We had some nice seats and everything in the front row of the balcony, and there was this nice, attractive lady sitting next to us. And we're wondering, what's an attractive lady sitting in the solo at a dice show? Turned out to be his wife, because we went over to his book signing today, and they were telling me, all right, Mr. Dice Clay isn't signing anything other than his book. But then I walked in, and she recognized me from the show last night. She's like, hey, come on in.
And of course, the Signature Boys got their skin signed by him, right?
They were the first people in line, yep.
Well, let's give a little plug out there to our good friend Andrew Dice Clay, who signed an autograph to me. I wasn't there, but you guys were nice enough to get it for me.
Sure. I said, hey, would you mind making out to one my buddy TC? And he's like, sure, whatever you want, guys, right? Yeah, you came to the show last night. Hey. So, yep, I got a personalized autograph, and so did TC.
Unbelievable. And let's talk about his book here, The Filthy Truth, Andrew Dice Clay. You got this signed. It's out there at all your major bookstores right now. Always been a fan of Andrew Dice Clay. And on the back here, we got some people who were giving positive reviews about the book. You got one from Eminem. You got one from Alec Baldwin, Ice-T, Whoopi Goldberg, Roseanne Barr, Arsenio Hall, and Nikki Sixx.
Wow.
All writing about Andrew Dice Clay's book. Now, Andrew Dice Clay, I was a fan of his in the 1990s. Even before that, when he was Andrew Silverstein. Remember when he went by his first name, his real name, Andrew Silverstein.
Oh, wow. I didn't know I didn't know anything about his original name. The first dose of Andrew Dice Clay I got is he played the Gooch on Different Strokes. He was eventually the bully.
He really played the Gooch on Different Strokes?
Eventually, when the Gooch, it came to be known that in appearance, because he was only spoke about in most of the episodes, but when he finally made the appearance, it turned out to be Dice Clay as the Gooch.
Now, I did not know that. I was a fan of Different Strokes. I had no idea that Andrew Dice Clay was the Gooch. My first, thing was I used to see him in all those B movies that were always on USA, Up All Night. And in 1988, he co-starred with my favorite actress of all time, Leah Thompson, in a movie called Casual Sex.
Yeah, fantastic. I remember that. I mean, he didn't do bad movies, I wouldn't say. I think I seen him in a Woody Allen movie not too long ago.
And the fact that, the last time I saw him, other than, he had a reality show, was he's playing himself on the HBO hit series Entourage.
Oh, I heard about that today. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But he was an amazingly nice guy to meet, Amazing, we met the Fonz, so who's supposed to be the coolest guy in town, Henry Winkler, and he's not really as cool as
He's a nice
Fonz.
guy, but he's not as cool as obviously the Fonz, because that was a character.
When you meet Dice Clay, you're getting one cool guy. You're getting the Dice. Dice
I don't know if I've asked you this before, and I'm sure I have before. Biggest jerk-off you've ever met celebrity-wise?
Okay, it would have to be Mr. Scotty Schwartz, the guy.
Scotty Schwartz, huh? The kid from the Christmas Story.
Yeah, he does these. He does these. The chillers and the
Well, he's an agent now for a lot of these celebrities at the show. Like he's their press secretary.
Well, I've had several encounters of him over the years. He's gone to the conventions. Nobody buys his autograph. He bumps into me. I almost got in fist fights with him several times. So has Bull. And now that he's gone to so many conventions and nobody buys his autograph. He's running the conventions now. And now he's running and getting slice of pizza and beers for the rest of the celebrities.
He's basically bodyguard Virgil.
Oh, no. He's the errand boy of the autograph circuit. But, yeah, Scotty Schwartz is definitely...
Scotty Schwartz, huh?
Definitely the biggest jerk-off I've ever met. I mean, in fact, he did a porno movie with my favorite porn star of all time, Julie Ashton, or one of them. And he had a naked Julie Ashton right in front of him, and he couldn't do... squat.
I remember when you had a naked Julie Ashton in front of you. Remember that Polaroid picture?
Oh, yeah. I wish. I'm sorry I can't show you that Polaroid picture on the air, folks. But, I was having quite some fun with Miss Julie Ashton.
Unbelievable. To me, I'd have to say the biggest jerk-off I've ever met celebrity-wise is William Shatner.
Oh, I can believe that.
No question about it. This was back in 1992, and he was doing an appearance with Leonard Nimoy outside of a hotel in Boston. They were going to one of those Star Trek conventions, and the limousine door opened up, and he wouldn't sign any autographs. He had his head down. In fact, he was pushing people out of the way, like, no, 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 no. And he thought Nimoy was behind him, and Nimoy was caught talking to somebody in the lobby. He turned around, and he was like, where's Leonard? Oh, my God, Leonard, you better get here. And he couldn't shut the door because Leonard would be trapped on the street. So people were like putting in all this stuff, and he's like, no, I'm not going to sign it. No, I'm not going to sign it. This giant black guy who had to have been about 6'9", and he had his little son with him who had to have been maybe like 10 years old. And he goes, you're not going to sign an autograph for my kid? And he goes, no, I'm not. And he looked at the guy, and he goes, nodded his head. He's like, okay. He signed. He had a sign for everybody there. So everybody thanked that guy. He's like, yeah, just doing my job. They, these celebrities, we pay their salaries and whatnot, blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
so
great.
hats off to that dude, because it wasn't for that guy, I never would have gotten William Shatner's autograph, because I'm not paying $100 and something at these
Yeah, that's what it goes for these days. And I heard a big-time riot broke out at the last Trek convention we had around here at the Bayside Expo.
No, it was down at the Providence Comic-Con, the Rhode Island Comic-Con. They had so many people there. The fire marshal shut the place down a bunch of times. My good friends that were down there, who had a booth down there, were telling me that it was insanity that they shut it down a bunch of times. Celebrities were actually getting stuff ripped off from them by people.
I heard Elijah Dushku got robbed, jacked outside the building. She got robbed for all her memorabilia plus her wallet.
But she did get her stuff back thanks to the security cameras in the hotel.
Oh, great.
So it worked out good for her. So, for those people down at the Rhode Island Comic-Con, I love their show. I couldn't go to it this year because I heard of all, the calamity that was going on. You're right next door to the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Rhode Island. Why don't you just rent that building out and you won't have any problems about overcrowding and whatnot. Unbelievable. So, Jeff, as we're winding down 2014, who is your favorite person that you have met so far this year?
Well, Dice Clay was good to meet, and, Carol Burnett, I didn't actually meet her, but that was a big name. I actually got an autograph out of the deal because I'm the one who handed it. But I would say Dice Clay was the best of the year because I got to hang out with him, meet his wife, meet his whole family practically, and he was just more personal. I think it has to do with being a couple of cool guys on the move,
2015 is coming up, Jeff. Is there someone on this planet that you have not gotten that you want more than anybody else ever?
Well, right now, looking over my One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest collection, we got Louise Fletcher, we got Christopher Lloyd, we got Jack Nicholson, we got Mew Small, and we even got Joseph Elick. So right now, I really need Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, Louis De Palma himself.
Yeah, who would he seems like a very cool guy, and he's supposed to be a very cool guy in person. I just really like to get that one under my
Mr.
belt.
Martini himself from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Unbelievable.
Yes.
All right, we're going to wrap this up right about now. It's always a pleasure talking to South Boston, Jeff. Always fun going on your little excursions down to New Jersey and New York City. Of course, this is After Hours. This is TC Restani. You can follow me on Twitter at TC Restani, and we will be talking about in future podcasts the future of the After Hours late night show. Will we be back in 2015 or won't we be back in 2015?
I hope so.
Only time will tell. And remember, this is After Hours, and we what, Jeff?
We never close.
Unbelievable.